Holy shit, I just got the valve cover back on. I still have to bolt it down. What's going on, guys and gals? This is Slim Diesel here, working on a 2000 Freightliner Century, doing an injector right now. I wanted to make this quick video to point something out. Now, if you have one of these Detroit 60 motors and you're noticing after you turn it off for say 2 hours and then you start it back up, even let's say it sits for 30 minutes and then you start it back up, it's like it's not fully firing on all the cylinders, and you feel a little sputter that slowly goes away. So here's the, I got the valve cover off, I pulled an injector, I pulled the valve train. So here's a couple things that could be the problem. One, if your overhead is out of adjustment, one of the valves may not be completely shutting until the engine warms up. That could be your problem, okay? But the problem that, if you ask me, over 15 years of working on these engines, is the most likely problem, if you don't have a damaged head gasket or dropping liner and stuff like that, is the most likely problem is probably your injector. So I will show you right now on this truck. Okay, so where I stand right now is I have done the injector number 2, 3. I've done the overhead and adjusted the jakes. Everything is adjusted. All the other injectors are replaced reliabilities. The oldest injector in this truck is the number 4 injector. Now, it says reliability, but it has a stamped 00 on the injector cover. All of the other ones have numbers, the injector values, they're numbers that are actually painted. So I know this is the oldest one. Okay, the other ones, reliability no longer stamps the numbers on the injectors. So they're painting the numbers on. Let me see if I can show you here. So that one says 21, okay? But this one is stamped. So anyway, I was listening to the outside of the engine and you could tell it was sputtering from around this area. So I had, 4 to 5 hours. I said the hell with it. So I'll show you what I found here. All right, I have pulled the injector out and I've noticed the O-ring is split in half, okay? The O-ring came off right here. And this right here, between this O-ring and that O-ring, that is the fuel channel for the injectors. The little fuel screens, you see that right there? That's where the fuel goes. The little screen filters out any large particles that might get in the channel. So basically, I will see how this repair goes, but the O-ring was completely split. So, and not only that, but this ring here that's been sitting at the bottom, this is as hard as a rock. So these haven't been off in a long time. Very long. This one's been on here for a long time. This is a 1999 motor. So basically the theory is, when you park, you have the fuel pressure built up in the cylinder head, and the O-ring is cracked. So it's a very small crack, but it's leaking out and it's going into the cylinder. So that's where it's going. But you're also losing pressure in the head and you're losing fuel around this injector. So when you go to start the truck, the injector is lacking fuel. There's probably air bubbles mixing in, and you have an injector that is sputtering. And eventually, as the fuel pressure builds up and the air is taken out of the fuel, it starts running more properly, and then the sputter goes away. So I have a new injector, I have new O-rings, and I have the large new O-ring here and the graphite seal that goes on here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace this one and slap it all back together. Another thing I'm going to do with this truck is, if the problem still persists, I think this is going to fix the problem. So, but if I still have a problem, what I'm going to do is, after running the engine real hard and it's fully warmed up, I'm going to climb up and basically, probably going to wait an hour. Okay, then I'm going to take the valve cover off. Then I'm going to check all the adjustments after it sits for an hour, just to make sure that it's not my valve clearances playing games on me after the engine sits for an hour. You know, you got a lot of metal here. You have jakes, you got the valve train. I mean, we're talking, you know, this is a lot of metal expansion that things are taking place here after you park it. So that's what I'm saying. One part might cool down before the other one. This could cause indifferences with the valve clearances, and that could throw off your engine. So my curiosity wants me, I want to take the valve cover off after 1 hour. So there you have it, guys. You know, and for example, even with OT Rookie, that other YouTuber, having a similar problem with his engine right now, currently. You know, he has a new engine, and he's having a similar problem where he's having a sputter. And he's saying the sputter's getting worse. Okay? The engine might be mechanically sound. I believe it's brand new. I don't even know if it's a rebuilt engine. It looks like it's brand spanking new. But you know, you don't know who put the injectors in. There could have been some rookie mechanic putting the injectors in. He could have been in a rush. He could have shoved it in and snapped an O-ring. So really, if he's gonna figure it out, what OT Rookie needs to do, I think that's how you pronounce the name. He needs to do an injector cutout test and determine what cylinder is sputtering. After that, he's got to pull the valve. He's got to get someone, or him do it himself, pull it off, pull the injector, check the adjustment, diagnose that cylinder that's sputtering. Okay? That's probably the easiest way to do it. So, I don't have the software on me right now, but if I did, I would have done an injector cutout test before I pulled this. But, you know, my ears told me that it was number 4. So, that's all I can say. I do also know that all the other injectors are newer than this one. This was the oldest one. And that's it. So I'm going to replace this one and write down the injector value, put it back together, check the valve adjustment, and go from